Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a son of a bitch.
You sold your kid, so yeah. What do you
So
think of that?
what we're doing, what I think what we're doing.
How long will this take?
As long as you fucking want. Let's go.
Seriously, man, I'm dead tired.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
What is wrong with you?
Oh, fuck you!
Welcome back, everybody. We thought we would switch things up a bit this week and do a tutorial. I show you guys kind of what Blue does behind the scenes on making a boss in the Unreal Engine.
Besides nothing. But, this is what he does. And he wants to show it off. So I'm just gonna, sit here and drink. So you do what you do.
Well, besides the obvious planning and preparation that goes into making a boss and the obvious artwork that is required, as you see, this is multiple parts with animated moving things and the little swinging blade thingy here.
Yeah,
ignore the fact that the thing is on top of the body. We don't want to talk about that. Anyways.
And that's you. I didn't intend for it to be on top of the body. So,
I tried to fix it. There's ways to do things. No, just let me explain. All right. Now,
you explain. Whatever.
All right. So we'll get down to it. What we did, when you make the 2D ones, we have to make all the animations and all the different, moves as different frames, which I'm sure you might be familiar with if you're doing 2D stuff. So we'll go on to the blueprint. The more brain required.
You're talking to me as if you're. I know how to make bosses. I made 6. I want to learn. I didn't want to learn. I want you to show people how you did it, because it's obviously better.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? What you did was good. It was good. Absolutely.
No. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. My bosses are terrible. But I'm not complimenting you.
Anyways, this is, what? Here we go. All right. So this boss is kind of like a crab robot monster. And the first thing we want to do is you want to find the moves that work with what the thing does. And he's got this blade. So you're like, all right, well, what do we do then? So when you make a boss, you want to create the correct blueprint. And the correct blueprint, what we did was a character. So we would go into here, we do blueprint class, and we would create character. This has the movement components, all that sort of stuff already set up, or at least ready for you to edit them when you get to it. So after we've created that, we'll go in there, and it obviously won't have any of this stuff. This is all the things I've been working on, but it will have the arrow component, and they'll have the mesh if it's a 3D game, but it's not because we don't have that capacity to do that yet. We're working on that. It's getting there.
The funny thing is, when I made the bosses, I didn't even use this. I think I just used like a pawn or like a regular actor.
Oh, you definitely just used a regular actor. I don't even know because it's not even organized. Let's see.
Look at this. There's no character movement. It's just like, hey, fucker, go over there. And then and look at this. Is terrible.
Oh, God.
This is terrible.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
you know what, folks?
It works. Fix this stuff. It's not good. This is why you're a trusted artist to fucking do this stuff. It's terrible.
Geez. Yeah. Yes.
This is literally just doing the same thing over and over.
But you know what? For all those people making stuff like this, it works. It gets the job done. May not be the best, but you'll learn. And then we used to do things like that, and now it's a little cleaner. And you know what? The other thing is, this is the new one. Anyone's going to tell you that there's a better way to do it. Make it work, and then make it better. That's what I try to do. And this to me works, and I can make it better once I know how to do certain things. So anyways, moving on. We go down here. This is the main blueprint for this little guy. He's not really a little guy.
He's the biggest boss I have. You're an idiot.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty cool looking. So what we do, the main thing we want to do over here is you want to hook up the fact that he's going to be moving around and he has health and all these sort of things. And there's many ways you can do it. You make a very simple integer variable here for your current health and your max health. And you just want to make that when he spawns and the event begin play, we're going to set the current to the max. I don't know why I did this. We can ignore this.
It's kind of weird.
Fine.
What is it?
No, this is for the HUD, and that's for another
I was
thing.
gonna say, like, why are you even setting it? You're an idiot.
No.
No, if it's for the HUD, which
for the HUD,
neglected to say,
the thing that pops up on the top. Yes.
Okay.
And then what we do after we got that set up, you want to make sure that he's not always doing things. He's not always attacking the player because it's a boss fight and you want it to only start when you start the boss fight. There's many ways to do it, and a simple box trigger right here. It's hard to
That was my idea.
Anyways, well, if you click on it, we're gonna open up the level blueprint. And once we do a little tick, and ticks aren't the best way to do it. Again, people will tell you many different ways. A tick right here will show once the player, we're going to check once he hits that box, and only do it once because you don't want to do it all the time. I have a little variable. We have a variable in the boss, and we are going to set engaged or hostile or start fighting, whatever you want to call it. It works. This works. And then I have a thing over here too. It's a custom event from the boss.
Knew that word.
And then that custom event, it makes it goes through and it does all the logic for the boss moves. There's a lot.
Well, why don't you take us through? And I'm being the audience, so take us through. Shut up. Do the thing.
All right. Well, then, you son of a bitch. The boss won't do anything. You want to make it so he's going towards the player and he's looking at the player while you're fighting. One way to do that, have a tick where he, depending on where he's at, if he's alive, the simple check right here. If the player's alive, the player's not alive, then we're not going to do anything. If he'll be dead. And then here's the different move that I have set up and another different move I have set up. So we're checking to see if we're doing these moves. If we're doing these moves, then obviously we don't want him to be moving or doing anything because he's in the middle of doing something. But if he's not, the best way to find the boss to have him look at the player, rotate towards the player, is we're going to get his location, the player character's rotation or location, and then we're going to grab the main top component, which is the capsule component. Everything is attached to that, and we're going to get the location of both of these, and then we're going to find look at rotation. The start will be where the boss is, and the target will be where your character is, and we're going to throw that right up into here when we move the capsule component, the main thing, to the player's location. And then since it's 2D, before we do that, we just want to set the flip book to the walking. Because right now, he's just going to be doing this stupid thing he does all the time. That looks good, by the way.
Idle. It's called
idle. He'll be idle.
Son of a bitch. God.
You just want to make sure that you...
right now.
You know what?
No, I feel like I miss doing this kind of stuff. Even though I sucked at it, it was still kind of fun. This is way more complicated. But continue, Professor Blue.
Well, it's simple
so I could drink stuff and watch as you try to explain things. I don't know.
Yeah, you're good at that. And
drinking? Yeah, I'm a pro at that.
Well then, all right, moving on. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate the character towards the player. So very simply, we're going to set the actor rotation, and we don't need to put anything in the target because it's the whole boss. And using this that we made earlier to grab that actor rotation for the character to move it, this part, and this is why this is important. I didn't even need to show this earlier, but now it's here. You see it. We're going to grab the Z axis because if I hit R, E to rotate, rotates on the Z axis here only.
That's so interesting.
And then we're going to set that to the new one, but it's tilted. It's, I think, off 90 degrees in one, so I have to do this. It may not be the same for you, but this is the way that our boss is facing. I have to do this.
Yeah, you know, making 2D games is a bitch in Unreal. It's not made for that. It's not made for that.
Yeah, it's a 3D engine making a 2D game, so you always have to worry or work around the 3 dimensions.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you get used to it. Yeah, find a way to make it work, and then you can kind of have fun with it and do other things, and sometimes make 3D, 2D games that look pretty cool. Well, people, I'm sure, will be able to see it. So after we've we hit that trigger box and we told it to do the custom event that I made called select move. Ignore this part, it's not working, so it's always false. And then executing move. It means that once we've selected one of these, it's gonna check to see if we're currently working on one. If we are, then we're not gonna do it. But if we're not, we're gonna go down to the next one, and there's a range sphere. So on this little sphere here that I made.
Well, which one? Okay, that one.
But this one is like a melee sphere. So once the character gets within it, we're gonna do a different type of move. I call it leg plasma. Even though it's not really leg plasma, but it works. Then once we
continue on, that's it.
Anyways, once we do that, we're gonna tell the game that we're executing the move so that it doesn't do anything else. And then we're doing this custom move so that up here, it doesn't move the player or the boss, or it doesn't rotate, because we want him to shoot out of his front little arrows here that I created. And that's what these are. All these arrows are spawn points. And you can name them. Naming things is very helpful because it keeps you organized. I got lazy at the end here and just put
it up. Say that's what they're fucking called. Is arrow 1.
Yeah.
And you're saying, yeah, you're dumb.
Ignore him. He doesn't do this anymore. And when we are doing that, if you want to say shoot a lot of things out of one arrow at once, you can do a real simple trick here. Is you can just make a for each loop, and you can make an array.
This looks so complicated.
Make array.
No, make an array right now. I want to see you make an array.
So. Say we literally just type in make array, and what this is, this for each loop, because we're gonna, for each element of the for each loop, we just want to spawn the boss projectile that we already have. We have all these bullets. Oop, don't mean to throw too much at it, but
what are you doing?
Here's one of the bullets, and we're gonna spawn it. Oh goodness! And when we do that, we need to get a transform. Basically, where in the world we want to spawn it. And that's what these arrows are for. So we have these arrows here, the red arrows. Right. We grab them, the component right up here. Just grab it.
I'm writing this down.
You need transform, because that's where it transforms into the world space. We just hit get world transform, and then boom, pop that in, and do that for all of these, and you get your array. It's already done up here, so I'm gonna delete this shit.
Ooh, this is our working, file.
This is the actual file. Yep.
Yeah, don't fuck things up. I don't know the last time you saved this shit anywhere at all.
I save it all the time. I back it up.
Ever.
Yep. Well, yep. Thanks
back
for
it
that.
up, Will. That's what I tell you all the time to do. You never back up.
Having faith in me and all that stuff that you never do. Anyways, son of a bitch. Another thing going forward is that this loop is, you want it to loop the body, and it doesn't have to go to anything else. It wouldn't continue down here, because this is happening every time we run through it, and it's going to go through all the elements. So you see you have 6 here, because this counts as 1, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and it's going to loop. It's just going to do whatever this is every single time. But if I went and I did that, it's going to do all of this, and then once it's done, it's going to do it all again. So this here is select move. So at the very end of doing this move, it's going to loop and do the select move 6 times, and that's what you get called an infinite loop. So we don't do that.
That's why I kept breaking the game though.
Yeah.
That makes this. What? Don't leave me with this shit. I'll just stay on GIMP and draw stuff, and you do this stuff.
You do that. You're getting good. You're getting good. You've been good. You've been good. I'll never say that again.
Getting good? You're a dick.
You've been good. You've been good. You've been good.
Okay.
Anyway, so
you've been bad, and now you're getting good.
I'll take that.
That's how I feel. That's what you said to me. But whatever. What else are you gonna show us in this story time or school time?
So when we're done, we're completed. Then we do the rest of it. We're gonna play a screen shake. There's plenty of tutorials on how to make a camera shake. Very simple. Very simple. The epicenter, is where it's at. The outer radius. Anything cameras outside of it, basically anything in between this distance will be affected. I did 60,000 because I'm a psycho. And then I put a delay just because he does the move and you don't want him to just like jump back and forth left and right and not give the player any time to react and get ready for the next thing. Then after that, we simply tell the game he is no longer executing a move and he is no longer doing the shooting leg move. And then boom,
you go back to another move.
Select move again. So it's kind of like we are making our own tick, but it's not running every single frame. It's literally just, it's constantly doing it, but it's waiting until we're done with what we're currently doing. So honestly, looking at my own script, I don't even need this here because it's only doing it at the end of all these things. But whatever, I don't need to get rid of it now.
You don't want to get rid of it because you're worried it's going to break it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, because I don't know.
It's working, so don't touch it. That's basically the mindset of every game developer.
Yeah.
It's not hurting anything, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
It's a very simple check, and it works.
I have noticed that the longer you go in game dev, the less of those like variable checks you need to do.
Yes, because you just know that you try to make these as simple as possible. And you try to make, if you look at a lot of our older things, there's way more variables or there's way more manual things done. You try to do things like right here, for example, we have 5 different moves that the boss does. The really simple way to do it is just you make a switch here on an integer.
Dude, that's smarter. Yeah.
Random integer within a range, and always remember in coding it's 0 represents the first index, and then this is 6, but it's not. It says 5, so 0, 1, 2. This should be hooked up to first one default, but it will only select one of them. But this is safe. You do want to do this. I should do this.
Yeah, but like the old bosses that I made, it just be like, I do this, and then that will feed into the other attack, and then the other. It's stupid. I'm stupid. I'm gonna go drink more. You're just depressing me about my mind. I don't know how to do things.
You make it so that your boss has a series of things he wants to do in order. But there's other ways to do this.
But I like this way better, and I blame you for making me too. Why was I doing that stuff? I shouldn't be doing that stuff.
I was a little distracted, I think. And I wasn't putting that much into it. But
because you were addicted to heroin. I think it was during that time that I was doing it.
Yes.
You were in rehab.
I always forget that I was addicted to heroin at one point. That's strange, right?
It was terrible.
I remember that part. Yeah, it's probably why I don't remember it.
You sold your kid. You remember the little blue? The little tournament-headed freak?
Yeah.
That thing was disgusting. It was,
yeah, I blocked that part out of my brain.
I would. You know, he was ugly when he was born, and then you sold him for
I wouldn't think that. He was that anyways, so you're a son of a bitch.
You sold your kid, so yeah. What do you think of that?
What I think what we're doing now is we're ignoring everything you say for the rest of everything that you've ever existed and continue to do so. I hate you.
I hate you.
Shut.
I don't know what you said, but I hate you. I'm gonna listen back.
Oh God, it's so forever. Okay.
You're right. What do you think of losing my mind?
Well, listen here. Okay.
Not next week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Part two. Then we'll show you how to do the moves, and then we'll show you how when he's dying, what that looks like. We'll jump in real quick. We'll do a little snipperoonie of how it looks.
This is gonna be laggy as shit. It's gonna be laggy as shit. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're just, taking on a couple of shots. This big guy, he's springing back and forth. So you look, he's just cycling in between the different moves, and he's going to the different areas. I'll show you next time how to set up those different spawn points, and then how to make him do the different moves, how to have that spinning blade that just fucking killed me. Do that.
You suck at this game.
Collisions for it. Well, it's a lot harder when, it's really laggy. Here, maybe we'll go full screen for his drink. Well, should have fucking snuck one in. All right.
That's not working any better. This is worse. This is worse.
This is very laggy. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's the beginning glimpse, part 1 of our very well put together explanation on how to make a boss in the underling.
Yeah, this is like all over the place. I mean, I know I sprung this on you pretty last minute, but you did terrible. Next time, he's going to do great. And
yes.
And
not die as much, hopefully.
Yeah, he's terrible at this game.
I was giving the fundamentals.
No,
the fundamentals.
Shut up. Clean this shit up.
God.
I feel like I was just in class. I need to go get fucked up.
It's like a music theory class, but with like art and paper.
You keep telling yourself that.
I like it.
No, shut up. Clean this up. Get organized for next time, because there's gonna be a part 2. So
okay,
clean it up. Shut up.
All right. God, I fucking died.